And welcome back to Side by Side with D. Today we're doing something a little teeny bit different. Remember in one of my videos where I talked about how the uh, unit upstairs leaked, the cabinets got ruined, the ceiling got ruined, yada 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 yada. We've been putting it off. We're getting our kitchen remodeled. We're getting our kitchen remodeled next week, and well, at the end of this week. Let's just all take a deep breath for me because the estimated time, renovation time, they're saying about 4 weeks. And we know that it usually takes a little bit longer than the estimated time. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be prepping a lot of proteins. And I mean, when I say a lot of proteins, I mean a lot of proteins. I've been thinking all night, like, okay, how am I gonna prep this? I kind of broke it down a little bit. We're gonna do about 15 chicken cutlets. I want to make at least 15. I want to do, so in my head, when I say like one or like, I guess in units, I'm talking about one meal. So if I say 5, I mean like for 5 different meals, not like 5 pounds or 5 packs. I want to do 5 diced chicken breasts, 15 cutlets. See, I should look at my thing because I don't actually remember now. I think it's 15 cutlets, 5 diced chicken breasts, 5 ground beefs, 2 beef stews, 2 pot roasts, and 5 chicken thighs. So we are going to be salt and peppering everything. Hold on, relax, okay? Hear me out. I thought about doing the entire season it for this meal, season it for that meal. But because we're not literally making complete meals and putting the entire meal in the freezer, I need a little bit more versatility than that. So I don't want to season something with like a Greek goddess seasoning or a barbecue seasoning. And then I end up not wanting that or not using that or not needing that, but also needing chicken for something else. So to make it, again, this is something that I've been thinking about for like the last week because it only really got confirmed last week. I'm excited. I'm very excited. As you know, I have a 1950s kitchen. I am going to miss my dripping sink. It's going to be very quiet in here without it. But I'm excited for the new space. I'm excited to be in something a little bit more functional. I'm excited to get my food out of these bins and be able to use the cabinet again. I'm excited for a lot of things. But all that to say, it is going to take a lot of prep. So what I'm thinking is, aside from the stews, right? Because I pretty much know, actually I don't know. I'm lying. I don't know. I was about to sit here and say, I know what I'm going to be using these stews for, but I don't. And at first, okay. Shh. Give me a second to catch up. All right? My brain is running faster than my mouth. I was going to do 30 days worth of meals. So every single meal is going to be prepped. But as you know, I have a regular standard white refrigerator. The freezer is not that big, so I cannot freeze every single thing that we eat. Also, I'm not 100% sure that like everything that if I was to sit here and prep everything, I do not have a stove. So I have a crock pot, so that's what we're going to be using. I'm going to have 1 pan available. 1 pan and 1 pot. That is it. Pots to boil water or to make rice or like pasta. The pan to make whatever the dish is. The crock pot for I'm going to try to do like 80% of my meals in that goddamn crock pot. And then a friend of mine so graciously just so happens to be getting rid of a microwave, and I don't have a microwave. So I'm going to go pick that up today. That's something that we will also have because it's just a matter of convenience. We're going to have a microwave for 30 days. It's going to be great. I've got all plastic utensils. I'm going to show you guys in separate videos my entire setup because I have to turn the dining room into a temporary kitchen. I still haven't figured out a sink solution. And that's also a big part of why I'm prepping all the proteins now because I do like to clean my meat. You can do whatever you want to do at your house. I'm saying at my house, we clean our meat. And so without having a kitchen and a way to kind of do that and contain it, that's just going to be really, really tricky. So what we're going to do is, so like I was saying, I thought about prepping everything, but then I was like, okay, I don't have the oven to reheat all this stuff because at first I was going to put it all in aluminum pans. And I'm like, where am I putting that aluminum pan? And I don't have an oven. So as you can see, I'm still working through it, but I figured the best course of action is I wrote down at least 20 different recipes that I can do that's easy, right? I'm not putting a specific date on it. I didn't go out and buy all of those ingredients because I don't want the dining room to be overwhelmed. So I'm going to just prep the proteins very plain and simple. I'm not going to just sear them without anything because I don't want to do that. But I am going to salt and pepper them because pretty much with anything you eat, you're going to add salt and pepper to it anyways, right? And then whenever I'm cooking it, I'm just going to go ahead and then add those additional seasonings to it, liven it up, whatever. I'm staying clear from anything that I feel like would need to be, that's not going to be great, like reheated. Do you know what I mean? So like I'm steering clear of those things. So I was trying to think of just things that are just like kind of like easy. You kind of like a dump and go type vibe that we can just put together. So I'm gonna get my iPad because I want to share some of the ideas that I had. Okay, now that I've got my handy dandy notebook, let me see. So today, basically, I wanted to prep the proteins, and on Thursday is when I want to make sure that I kind of have everything that I need for the temporary kitchen. So, and then Friday, I'm going to go to the grocery store. So I'm going to decide whatever it is we're going to eat this week, go to the grocery store and get things that accommodate me and my family for the week. So like certain things like Alfredo sauce, like I would typically make Alfredo sauce homemade, but we're going to skip that this month. We're going to get it from the jar because it's just going to be easier. It's going to be seamless. I can get my diced chicken. I can throw it in the pan. I can get like a frozen bag of broccoli, throw it in the pan, and get jar Alfredo sauce and throw it in the pan. Is it going to be gourmet? No. Is it going to be like the best thing we've ever eaten? Maybe. I mean, maybe when you're in like a little pinch or you're in like a little predicament sometimes, you know, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever been in a struggle. Sometimes the struggle does taste better. But is it gonna be like the best thing in the world? Probably not. But it's gonna do. It's gonna work, and it is going to bring my anxiety down because people are gonna be in the house. They're gonna be working in the house. There's gonna be dust everywhere. And I'm not. And as you can see, I pretty much live in the kitchen. I spend at least 60 to 70% of my time in this very room. So, and then to be cooking in the dining room, I want it to be as easy as possible on me without having to run out and buy fast food because I feel overwhelmed by not kind of setting myself up for success. So, these were some of the things that I was thinking, right? Let me see. Oh, so what I had to do, oh crap. I gotta make muffins. So I've decided what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one breakfast and one lunch for every week. And for the first week, I'm picking these basically like fake McDonald's McGriddle muffins because it's the only time I'm gonna have a stove right now. Like I can't do that next week because I won't have a stove. So next week at least, like if I have like, I think I have breakfast sandwiches on the list. I can do that because I can make like breakfast sandwiches on the stove still. Or a good friend of mine, she offered her kitchen to me while she's at work, so I can go to her house and prep breakfast and things like that. But while I still have my oven, we are going to be making kind of like McGriddle muffins. So basically some sausage, a pancake mix, and maybe some scrambled eggs and cheddar cheese, and we'll just pop it. Now, I was gonna get like those mini muffin tins, but I was so graciously reminded that I have this little muffin top tin. Let me show you. So if you can see, it's not deep at all because it's not supposed to be like an entire muffin. It's just like the muffin top. So the part we all love, right? So they're gonna be basically like little pancake muffins that it'll probably be like what, 2-3 bites. So I think they'll be good. We'll be able to just pop them right in the microwave and we'll have something for breakfast. I forgot that I was supposed to be doing that, but I'm glad that I just remembered. So I have on here, make muffins, make 15 cutlets, 5 ground beef, 5 meals with chicken thighs, 5 meals with diced chicken breast, season the beef, stew, 2 different flavors. I have 2 different pot roasts. We are going to making a shit ton of mashed potatoes. I have this, what is it, 5 pounds? Ooh, 10 pounds. I have 10 pounds of gold potatoes. We are going to be making a bunch of mashed potatoes and freezing them because I feel like mashed potatoes freezes really, really well. And then we're going to be doing some diced parboiled potatoes because I think on the list I have one like with this sausage. In the crock pot we can do like what is that? Like a potato soup. That'll be easy with the parboiled diced potatoes, so it'll just be like I don't have to chop anything. So that's another thing. So I'm doing all the proteins for the month at one time. But at the beginning of the week, what I'm gonna do is if I need any peppers, if I need any onions, if I need any, vegetables chopped or anything like that, I'm gonna get that prepped at the beginning of the week, and so I can just use that instead of trying to get out a cutting board every day, trying to find somewhere to cut all these things, and again, not having a reliable sink that I can use. So I think what I'll do is once a week I'll go to my friend's house at the beginning of the week, prep whatever vegetables and stuff I need, and kind of roll like that. And I'll take you along with me for that. I plan on doing shorts every day of basically how we're surviving as the days go by. But as far as like that, like showing for the week, that might just be like a video on itself, like what I prepped for the week. But anyways, we're gonna cook a lot of these proteins. Some of my meals, let's see, I have like for crock pots, like a gumbo, chicken and dumplings, potato soup, pot roast. We've got some beef stew that we can do like a creamy beef and noodles. I think that will be really good. We got mashed potatoes, mini meatballs, which I don't think. Oh, so I might have to take one of these ground beefs and make some meatballs because that's actually a good idea to have meatballs on hand. Tacos, hamburger helper, chicken alfredo, spaghetti, Spanish rice and beans because that's all like in one pot. Lasagna soup, beef and broccoli, sloppy joes. Okay, so I've never had chicken tetrazzini. I've seen it a lot, it looks good, and I know that that's something that has to be baked. So I will either prep it at my friend's house, or I'll try to make it in a crock pot and see if it works the same. I don't know. You tell me if that's a good idea or not. 1 pan, chicken and broccoli cheesy rice. What was I? Oh, chicken and gravy over rice. Chicken strips. I bought some freezer chicken strips. I was gonna make them, but then I was like, I'm already making the cutlets. Will be okay. Brown stew chicken. I wanted to make some blackened chicken as well. So maybe with the diced chicken, we'll do half just salt and pepper and half blackened. Or should I just wait and do maybe again? I'll just wait and add the blackened seasoning when I'm reheating things. That'll probably work best. Married me chicken, bourbon chicken, I have lots of chicken. Quesadillas, chicken soup, birria. I already have a birria base in the freezer. So all I would have to do is pop one of these pot roasts in there with that in the crock pot and just let it go. Red beans and rice. So I have like a good amount of ideas, and I know that as we're going, new ideas will pop up. I also know that I may not even need all of this, right? They said 4 weeks. But that doesn't mean that necessarily like the stove will not be accessible for 4 weeks. I do know like one of the very last things that they do is put it in the sink. And so that's why I was like, at best, you know, I have all this already prepped, and then I can continue to use it because it'll just be in my freezer. And I can continue to, you know, use it even after the kitchen is done. But that's why I didn't want to prep all of these sides and all of this extra stuff, because I genuinely don't know how long we're going to be without a kitchen. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't want to over prepare and feel wasteful, and then I have like, panicking and have like anxiety about all this food that we have to eat so it doesn't go bad. So I think my plan of just prepping proteins and then going week by week, just kind of seeing how things go versus like the sides and vegetables and things like that. And my lunches, I want them 90% fresh. So that means we'll either be doing like salads or, you know, something like that. Maybe like some little rice bowls, things like that with like lots of green toppings. I want to keep it as fresh as possible because 99% of the food that we're going to be eating for dinner and for breakfast is going to be frozen. So I have like 4 hours to get this done. It's going to take me about 2? No, it's going to take me about an hour to get all this cleaned. About an hour. There's no skin or bones or any of this. So I'm going to go get this clean. I'm going to get this prepped. I think what we'll do is we'll start with the chicken. And then we'll head over to the beef. We'll start with the chicken because what I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I want to sear it and then put them all like on a cookie sheet and then pop that in the oven and just let them cook in the oven. Or if I just want to just go ahead and put them in the oven. I like to always sear my meat before I start cooking it because I don't like it to be like wet and just, it looks boiled, you know what I mean? I like it to have some color to it. But I may opt, and I have to do cutlets. So I'll do the fried cutlets. I'm gonna go prep while I think, and then I'll come back and we'll decide what we're gonna do. Okay, we're back. We have, I don't even know how much chicken this is. I do want to separate 1, 2, get the bigger ones. 3, 4, because I want to make about 15. I'll get one more. You know what? Maybe 15 is excessive. Maybe I could do enough. Would be 12. I think 12 would be enough. I'm gonna do 12 cutlets. This is the chicken breast that we're gonna salt and pepper and dice. So what we're gonna do, I preheated my oven to 400 degrees. We're about to salt and pepper this and our chicken thighs, and we're gonna get this roasted in the oven. I'm gonna have to take these gloves off because I need a cookie sheet. I need to actually get the salt in here as well as that chicken. So I feel like I'm running through like 20 gloves. It took me about an hour and a half. An hour and a half to get all of my chicken prepped. The thighs obviously take longer because they have like all those veins and stuff. You gotta clean it. But I think, you know, moving forward, I might actually, because I always buy like my meat and stuff in the beginning of the month, if I can get a vacuum seal, I might actually just clean all my meat in the beginning of the month and then vacuum seal it. Because it is kind of annoying when I'm trying to cook and then I have to go and like clean and all that. Like sometimes I will stall just so I don't have to do it. So I'm just getting some avocado spray down. It's so hard for me not to grab the other seasonings because I'm just like salt and pepper, but I just want to get some flavor locked in before it goes in the freezer while it cooks. So let's get this seasoned up. I have about 2 hours before I have to go. So I'm hoping within the next 2 hours, because this is going to cook itself, I decided I'm not going to sear every single piece. It just is what it is. But I want to get these potatoes at least peeled, so that way when I come home I can just make the mashed potatoes. Get the potatoes peeled and then get my ground beef cooking. For the pot roast, I'm not going to sear it. I thought about it. I don't want to sear it and then put it back in the freezer or whatever, so I think I'm just gonna end up, because it's in a 2-pack, I'm gonna individually wrap it. Same with the beef stew. I thought about searing it, but I think I'm just gonna leave it and individually wrap it, because those, but any other time I would typically go ahead and sear the meat till it gets really brown and you get that nice coating at the bottom that you can use to start to make like the actual gravy, or the, I guess you add your tomato paste and all that to kind of make like the juices. So this going, it said for 20 to 25 minutes. Even if I don't prep chicken to this quantity again, if it does turn out well, like if I feel like I can't really like tell the difference or anything like that, I'll definitely do this, so that way I can always have like chicken for like salads, or even like a quick dinner meal or something like that when I don't want to be actually doing something from the first step. I can have something like this that's kind of like halfway done with the process, and then I can just add whatever sides I want to it. Like I said, like a sauce or something like that. These are just like little pieces. These two, and do the cutlets in here, and then if I can get this one also on the stove, I think I'm just gonna do all the ground beef in that one. Because I forgot that I needed some of that ground beef to make some meatballs. So this should be enough. This should be big enough to do that. Kitchen will be less noisy next time because there won't be all this stuff everywhere. We'll actually have real cabinets, and maybe by then I'll have a mic too, so that'll help reduce the noise. So we are gonna get started on our cutlets. Last one is going in. Okay, I have 1 hour until I have to be out of the door, okay? The floor is a mess, but my counter is clean enough for me to go ahead and start the next project. I cleaned both of these pans. We'll be browning our meatballs. Browning our meatballs in this one and doing the ground beef in this one. And then I'm gonna start peeling the potatoes. When I get back home, I can always separate and wrap the pot roast and the beef stew. So we're just gonna get whatever needs to be cooked so it can be cooled down in the next hour. All right, so we have our ground beef in the pan. I'm just gonna add some salt and pepper to it and just grind it up and leave it like that. It feels so weird doing that, but it'll work out. What I like to do is, before I go ahead and start making balls of it, is I'll just take a small piece. We already have our pan preheating, and I'll just fry up a little piece. just to taste it and make sure everything is good. Okay, here's our test piece. Good. That's good. It makes me want meatballs now. But this would be easy to just throw right in the crock pot. Get some noodles going, or even just get some bread. Put it in the toaster with some cheese. And just have like a meatball sub. Set it to brown and held on. Okay, let's cook all the way through. It is still very juicy. So it's good. I'm gonna do like some nice chunky bites. That way if we want it for salad or whatever. Okay, we're running out of space, so I'm gonna start getting these in bags. So before I do, you wanna know something? Hold on, hear me out. White people might be on to something with the salt and pepper when it comes to chicken breast. That is really good. It looks good. We're gonna go for about another 5 more minutes. I'm not gonna throw any of this meat straight into the freezer. We're gonna do a transition. We're gonna get it in the fridge, and then tomorrow we'll go ahead and put it in the freezer. I don't know, something about like cooked meat going straight into the freezer. I feel like it needs a transitional point to it. I'll look at them once I have them all bagged to even them out a little bit more, because I think the first two may have a little bit too much. They taste really good. If they freeze well, I might have to just once a month make this like a project, because they taste good. Even just with the salt and pepper, they taste good. Okay, we have 5 bags of cooked diced chicken breast. With these juices, what we're gonna do, because I don't want to mess, we're gonna take this turkey baster. And we have our diced chicken. So that was pretty easy, honestly. Time consuming, sure. But like I said, maybe like on a Sunday or a Saturday or a day you're not doing anything, it's not a bad option. So I close it just until the end. I leave it cracked so I can get some of the air out of it. So really quickly, I'm just gonna add diced chicken breasts on here. Okay. We're gonna do the same things to the thighs. I'm gonna go do that, and then after I'm going to skedaddle on out of here. I actually have to pack all this stuff up. But what I'm gonna do is I'll pack it up, and then when I come back, I'll show you how I packed it, and then what I'm gonna do with the beef stew and the pot roast that we didn't get to, plus the potatoes. If I look absolutely tired, it's because I'm absolutely tired. That is not a timer. It is 1:12 in the morning. It was a long night. It was a long night. When I first came home, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave all that stuff in the fridge. I'll save the rest for tomorrow. And then I thought to myself, tomorrow is Wednesday. And you don't know this, but Wednesdays are me days. I have my schedule literally throughout the other 6 days of the week, including the weekends. But Wednesdays are the only days that I quite literally, I intentionally do not put anything on my planner because it's just supposed to be for me. That's the day that I catch up on all my YouTube videos from YouTube content creators that I love. I'll watch TV. Right now I'm watching Paradise on Hulu. Or I'll watch Abbott Elementary. I'll wash my hair. Like, it's just a day for me to kind of just pay attention to myself, because I can spend a lot of time, as you can see, with the time, things getting carried away, and I just kind of, anyways, I didn't want to give up my Wednesday. So I said, you know what, we're just going to do this until it gets done, and then we'll just sleep in. So all of our meat is done. I went ahead, oh, there's one here. All I did was put my pot roast in some saran wrap, and then I put it in a Ziploc bag. I'm about to bring all of the protein out that we prepped today so we can write and then put them in more bags. They're in individual bags, but I want to put them in a larger bag because I don't want to lose any of the smaller bags, and I also don't want them popping open in the fridge trying to mix around and find the bag that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna put like all the chicken in one bag, all the ground beef in one bag. You see what I'm saying here? I'm tired, so I might be a little snippy. I'm sorry. I came home and it was really the potatoes that broke me, if I'm being honest. The potatoes really broke me. I did not want to peel 10 pounds of potatoes, so I didn't. I remember seeing a reel way back when where they were like, oh, professional restaurants, they actually don't boil their potatoes because it adds more water to them or whatever. They roast them. So I went ahead and roasted my potatoes, and I'm just going to mash them. We're gonna make some mashed potatoes really quickly. While they're cooling, I have some garbage to get rid of. I needed to do something else. I know I needed to take the garbage downstairs. I guess check if there's anything else that I need to do. Meantime, in between time, while the mashed potatoes are cooling. Oh, we're gonna pull out all of our meat and get it labeled and get it in the bag and all that stuff. So we're gonna start with the potato. I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and I'm gonna get my cream, my butter. Also tomorrow I plan on making this special little dinner, kind of like the last dinner in this kitchen before it gets demolished. So because I'm doing that on my day off, which typically, I'm not joking, my day off are usually yo-yo days, which is an acronym for you're on your own. But I'm gonna cook tomorrow, so I want the day to actually be for me, because later on in the day I'll be making a dinner that's gonna take a little while. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these skins peeled off. We're gonna get them in a pot, start mashing them, add some butter, add some cream, add a heaping amount of salt, and I have some Gouda cheese that I gotta get rid of. So we're just gonna add some Gouda cheese in there, and black pepper, and some garlic seasoning. Actually, I think I want to use this table salt for this. I'm trying to muster the energy. I was watching the Oscars. Let me sit. The Oscars was keeping me company. But I did not watch like 95% of the movies that they're referring to. And so I'm literally always just waiting for Wicked to come up on the screen. And I think someone told me that Wicked only won the costume design award. And I already saw that part, so at this point I'm just like, I don't know who Amelia Perez is. I didn't see that. What pot am I gonna make this in? It's 1 in the morning, so try not to make noise. But knowing me, we'll get some banging around here. What we'll do is we'll get our cream and our butter heated up in here. And then we'll get a separate bowl to start mashing. And if it's looking like, we'll either see which one we'll transfer into. I don't know how much cream I'm gonna need, if I'm being honest. I kind of just go by like texture. So I'll just start off with some. And then if we need to add, we'll add. At that point it'll be hot, so it won't be that big of a deal. I am gonna add this entire stick. This is the equivalent of 2 sticks of butter. I believe it's 16 tablespoons. But again, this is 10 pounds of potatoes. So, and I'm just doing a very classic mashed potato. I'm not adding any sour cream or cream cheese. Again, I am gonna add that Gouda, but it's quite literally like a few tablespoons. It's really not even gonna make like that much of a difference. It's just a way for me to get rid of it, but it still adds like a little bit of flavor to it. Which just was caffeinated. It's just sparkling water. Yeah, I have to double check. I don't think it's caffeinated. Why am I over here? What am I looking for? You guys don't want to see me lose my mind, right? I probably shouldn't have turned on the camera, but I already said that I was going to do this process and I needed to show you the end result, and the end result is end resulting. So, sometimes your brain knows something that your memory doesn't. It's just like, girl, I'm just gonna pull. It should be soft enough I can just pull the skins off. I'm gonna get a knife. I didn't even check the potatoes to see if they were done. I just took them out of the oven. But they're soft. They're soft, but they're not so soft that they're mush, because at that point then it would be like watery. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know what that's called. I'm not quality content right now. And I'm usually a night owl, but I've been getting up kind of early lately, getting things done. And yeah, today just feels very long. But I'm so looking forward to my Wednesday. I'm not leaving the house. The only tedious thing I have to do is edit this video, because I have one memory card and I want to film on Thursday me. Wait, is that Thursday? Well, Thursday. What am I filming on Thursday? I feel like I'm filming something on Thursday. Because I'm not packing up the kitchen till the weekend, and I am going to film that. But that's not what that is. Thursday. I guess nothing. I know I have to run like a little bit of errands on Thursday. So if I don't feel like it tomorrow, I might just save this video edit for Thursday, because by then I'll be like pumped and ready to go and get the ball rolling and stuff like that. So I'm not filling these fast enough. Well, as you can see, I'm just gonna fill these potatoes until I have them all done, and then we'll figure out the smashing solution. So I'm just gonna save myself some editing time and pause this here, and I'll be back when all of these are filled. Let's see what time is it? 1:25. We can get this by 1:40 on the money. Let's see. We missed the mark by 2 minutes, but that's okay. We're gonna smash this right here on this pan. Oh, I have a different potato masher that I could use. My milk and butter is all warmed up. We have our very chunky mashed potatoes. I think they need more salt. They need more salt, but other than that, they're good to go. I'm gonna start taking all this garbage and whatnot, and then we'll come back, label everything, throw it in the freezer, pop whatever in the fridge that needs to be in the fridge. I'm gonna take a shower and go to sleep. Well, I think I do just have to pat myself on the back because, like, come on. This was no small feat, okay? Trying to line it up so you can see a little bit of what's going on here. Every bag basically counts for a meal, except for these. The smaller pot roast would be 2 meals. The bigger one would be 3. So we have 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 proteins for 30 days. That is great. That means we should not be eating out more than a handful of times. And to be honest with you, some of these will make leftovers, like outside of the pot roast, like some of these other ones will make leftovers that we could probably go the whole 30 days without eating out. So I'm very tired. My back hurts, my feet hurt. It's been an all-day process, but honestly, if my month is going like really, really well, outside of like not having a kitchen, you know what I'm saying? I might do this every now and again. I don't know if I do this every month, but maybe every now and again I'd clear my schedule for like 2 days and I just bust this out because this was awesome. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna separate. I wanna keep, well, first of all, I need a marker. Great. And then mark on my hand. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna write down really quickly anything that's not labeled. See, this is why I want to double bag them, because this one just popped open. So this is still. And I labeled all the chicken earlier today, so let me see if I can fit them in a bag together. Because diced chicken breasts, what I want to do, wrap it on 2, 3, 4, perfect, and 5. You can't see what I'm doing. So I put all 5 of the diced chicken breasts in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put the mashed potatoes in the refrigerator for tonight, since I'm putting all of this in the freezer, and then tomorrow I will section it off and put it in the freezer. Again, I want it, everything else that I cooked today had a chance to sit in the fridge for a few hours to cool before we go ahead and transition it to the freezer. So I want to give the potatoes the opportunity to do the same. I don't want to just go ahead and just throw them right in there. Four, 3-pack. And here we have it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I feel so proud of myself. I feel so proud of you for sticking with me throughout this entire process. If you've made it all the way to the end and it's cooled down, I'm literally gonna put this whole pot in the refrigerator and go to bed. So all this is going in the freezer. Let's take a better look at it. Let's see what we have here. All of our hard work. Beautiful. I'm going to sleep. Thank you so much for sticking with me. In the next video, you'll be seeing me unpack this kitchen for the last time before we get a renovation, and that's gonna be fun. So, oh yeah, I cleaned all those jars in between doing all this stuff. So, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.